Hello, welcome to MTG Pro Tutor. I'm Sean Pennard, your host, and today we're going to dive into a Khans of Tarkir booster pack. Let's see what we get. Alright, so the first thing I do is take out the marketing card, which is a warrior. Take out our land, and then look at the rare, which is Trail of Mystery. Okay, so this is for 2 mana. You get this enchantment. Whenever a face-down creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. When a permanent you control is turned face up, if it's a creature, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So this is definitely good to get early on, and then capitalize off of morphs. You would want to draft this early, but here's the thing, is that this card is only good if you have it in your opening hand. Because you want to play this as soon as possible and really start getting advantage of of those morphs. If you draw this in the late game, if you top deck this card, terrible. Absolutely terrible. So yeah, so it's kind of a fine line to walk, a double-edged sword, whatever you want to call it. It's just tough to really kind of get this guy rolling. So we'll see. Maybe we'll take it first. Maybe we won't. It definitely has a lot of upside, but the floor is pretty low as well. Feeder Resistance, again, I think the best white common in the set, giving your creature a permanent +1/+1 counter, and then giving it protection of a color of your choice. Inoc Tracker, it's alright. I mean, it's a 3/3 first strike, it costs 6 mana, which is expensive. You can turn it face up for 5 mana, and that's only good if if your opponent is swinging in with some morphs and you want to kind of catch them off guard. Barrage of Boulders is a pretty decent falter effect for 3 mana. You deal 1 damage to all creatures you don't control, each creature you don't control, and then if you have Ferocious, they can't block this turn. So then that kind of lets your army get by. It's not too hard to trigger Ferocious in this set. So again, if you are red and you need a finisher, you have a bunch of little guys and you're going to get outclassed later on. All you need is one biggish guy, and then you'll be able to get past all the blockers. Samardu Hateblade I like because it's a 1/1 for 1 that is not completely irrelevant in the late game because you can give a Death Touch. And that's great because you can do things like Bear Punch, like Savage Punch, or just do a regular block. Any one of those things, you'll be able to turn on the Death Touch and take out one of their big creatures. Speaking of Savage Punch, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So yeah, playing Savage Punch on a Mardu Hateblade, you're going to kill anything because it has Death Touch. And what's nice is that if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, your creature gets +2/+2 before they fight. So what's really nice is when you have Savage Punch and you play it on an Abzan guide, because then they fight something, they become a 6/6. They fight something, you get 6 life, and then you can attack with it, and you get 6 life again because they have +2/+2 until end of turn. Debilitating Injury is one of the most efficient ways to get rid of morph creatures, in my opinion. They play a morph on turn 2, and then on your turn 2 or 3, you play Debilitating Injury on that morph, and it goes bye-bye. Do keep in mind, though, that people know that... Oh, no! Do keep in mind that people know that this card is out there, and they tend to play their better morph second. So you might want to hang on to this and kill the second morph. Lens of Clarity, I think, is unplayable. It takes a space in your card. It takes up a place in your deck where a better card could be. All you get to do is look at the top card of your library, which you're going to draw, anyways. And you get to look down. You get to look at face-down creatures. So your enemy's morphs aren't a surprise. However, there's other ways to deal with them, mainly just building a better board than them, and you don't need Lens of Clarity. Shambly Attendance, 3/5 with Death Touch is amazing. So hard to get through, so hard to get through and live. You're not going to live, but it's so hard for it to get off the board because you're going to have to throw something big at it, and whatever you throw at it is going to die. Or if you attack with small things, they're just going to get eaten up by the Death Touch anyways. Jungle Hollow, the green-black refuge. Highland Game, a 2/1 for 2, and you gain 2 life when it dies. And then our uncommons are Goblin Slide, another build around me uncommon, where you cast a non-creature. So what this is trying to do is help you play a bunch of non-creature spells and then still get creatures out of it. So for an extra mana, you get a 1/1 Goblin. Sultai Flayer, a 3/4 for 4 mana, and whenever a creature with toughness 4 or greater dies, you gain 4 life. And finally, Watcher of the Roost, a 2/1 for 3. It has flying. Reveal a white card from your hand to morph it, and when it's turned face up, you gain 2 life. Alright, so I think the Sultai Flayer is probably the best creature in the pack. A 3/4 for 4 mana is not bad, and then you gain 4 life when it dies, or any other creature with 4 toughness. That's, and Feeder Resistance. So, while I do like Trail of Mysteries, it's just, I don't know, it's risky. Alright, it's good. It's a very good card. It's gonna get you your mana. It's going to make your flips worthwhile. So, but if you don't draw it early on in the game, it's terrible. Okay, this is really good for when you are going 5 colors, because you can take a bunch of morphs, and then when you play them, you get to search for lands, and the lands that you look for are obviously what you need to turn those cards face up. So it definitely has a place. It's definitely very powerful, but it's very risky. So if you want risky, go with Trail of Mysteries. If you don't want risky, go for Sultai Flayer or Feet of Resistance. So that's my picks in this pack. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. I'm Sean Penrod, and we'll see you in the next pack.